Ladies, gentlemen, welcome to Conquest of EO once again. When we last left off, the game sort of had a wibble, or should I say another wibble, and I just sort of gave up at that point. So, yeah, I'm starting to get a little irritated with this game, and it's, I don't know, it just seems rather unstable of late. And I don't remember having these issues previously, because I'm recording. Does it not like OBS hooking into it? Is it something else? Did a patch introduce some stability issues? I'm not sure. But yes, it is getting a little annoying. So, yeah. We, last time, went and did some of Ingrid's quest, and then started to send Jonath here, had to remember everyone's names, up towards Seven Keeps. So let's continue. Oh yeah, we also got let's also just start hiccuping. Okay, yes, we got these vampires here, which are nice. Though I don't approve of their colour of their armour. I'd rather they were like, I don't know, purple and... well, purple and blue. That's the colours of the Necromancer... well, kind of Necromancer faction from my writing, so that's obviously going to be my chosen thing. Right. Seven Keeps is the capital of the is the capital of the kingdom of the High Mark, and the seat of its king. The seven towers that protect it are a symbol of safe haven for elves and dwarves, who even retain seats on its council. Famous for its great library and prolific alchemists, Seven Keeps has long been a place of peace and stability across all Feyara. Until Demons of the Past happened, and then it got completely fucked. We must visit. I think it was Demons of the Past. It was definitely one of the Spellforce expansions where Seven Keeps got royally screwed up. You cannot move anymore. You... I guess we'll use you to scout for a little while. Where is everyone else? Okay, there's someone. Okay, there's... Pia, there we go. Or Fia. Can I, like, just sort of sneak around your tower? I'm not going to attack you, don't worry. She might get a little upset, but we'll see. I probably should have attacked that, you know. Could I have beaten that with... yes, I probably could have. There's a Dwarf's Revenge here somewhere. Who else is awaiting orders? Ingrid, there you are. Gone too far, you say? Yeah, she has kind of gone too far in this direction. In a narrow street, you hear distressed voices. Villagers stand in a circle there, crying over some who lie dead. A woman notices you and waves you over, tears streaking down her face. My wife and I were closing the bakery when the militia came about. They demanded bread, but we hadn't any left. When they started destroying our shop, these people came to help us. The militia killed them without remorse. Something is wrong with them. They've never been so irrational, so brutal before. They've caused enough trouble. Time to finish this. Right, let's go beat up the militia then. Why not? Iana, please don't concern yourself with the fact I've got a faction on your border. Week of Elin. Elin, guardian of nature, blesses the sacred hunt. And also, god of the elves. Or goddess of the elves. I can't remember what gender they ascribe to it. Faction promotions. All your units have +5 against units with beast. You come across a trail of blood splatters. The tracks they belong to are clearly that of some kind of animal. A big one. Follow the trail. You follow the tracks for a couple of minutes before you hear a pained grunt. A huge bear lies on the ground, bleeding, broken spears still sticking from its side. The hunter might still be nearby. As you turn around, a squad of poachers are already moving out of the brush with weapons raised. Oi, move! This one's ours! I can either beat them up, I can get them to join me, or I can just leave them to it. Let's beat them up. You'll win without losses. Ooh, they've got a beast. Excellent. I do +5 damage to you. I don't think there's really any point in fighting this manually. I'll try and minimize damage. Oh good, it's this one. God, that's really, So when I was on my holiday, I got a load of cans of Tango Paradise Punch. It tastes kind of like fruit twists, except even more sweet. Like, even by my standards, it's very sweet. Okay, so should we just like go and break some things? Let's go break some things. How did you not do? Okay, let's see if we can lure them in there. Hit. I went the wrong side, didn't I? Yes, I did. Oh well. We're off to a good start. Ooh, actually, you can not summon a thing because that's fear. Okay. Yes, you can go over here. You're sort of a warrior, so you can take the damage. Send you back so that you can, you know. Oh no, they threw a torch at my wraiths.
Huh?
So it's plus 15 health regeneration at the start of your turn. I'm guessing, yeah, doesn't affect any of my mooks. That's a shame. Right, you go bomb them. You go here. And then do that. You go hit them. They now have to run away. I should have used... You can tell it's been a while since I played this game, can't you? I'm making all sorts of schoolboy errors.
Uh-huh.
How far away am I from replying? So I'm 1-2 away. 1-2. And then the Wraith is resistant, so that's fine. Did I just disorder my own unit? How did you get disordered? No, you're immune to psychology, so... Oh, it's the wolves. Okay, that's fine. I actually rotate the camera. Yes, I can. I wonder if I can remove the UI. I might have to look into that. That would make getting screenshots of the battles a bit easier. Is it under game? Nah, it doesn't appear to be. You'd think the controls would be under game, but close that. Back to game. I think that's everyone. Yes. And that's it. It's all caged. Smacked in the back. There we go. Problem sorted. So I probably actually took more damage by doing that, but we'll go with it. Why is this thing getting stuck to my... Does my mat need a wipe... coaster need a wipe down? Good look at it. It doesn't feel like it's had fizzy spilt on it either. I gained one with Connacht, apparently. Speed 1, willpower 1. You're immune to psychology, so there's absolutely no point going for willpower, I don't think. Though resistance against white and death is pretty good. But, speed for you probably be quite useful. You get more regeneration. Actually, he doesn't have any regeneration yet. Well, in that case, definitely get regeneration. You get, I guess we get speed on you as well. And +2 focus for you. The poachers are quickly taken care of, and you are rewarded with their purses. A chunk of meat, 10 gold, and +20 with Connacht. Let's move on. So... yeah. So there's Lorraine. Connacht didn't like us very much before, but we are sort of getting a little bit of reputation now. Okay. You walk the grounds of the militia's barracks. Many soldiers are training in combat, others seeking to their gear's condition. Not knowing which group attacked the village, you approach the captain's quarters, only to find them guarded by 2 elves. No one enters without permission. The captain is praying. We can just give them some beer. Screw it, why not? The guards grin and toast to your health. They're quickly too drunk to do their job. One even starts to nod off. Okay, that's pretty funny. Inside, you find a woman drawing glyphs on the walls in her blood. Her other hand clutches a small effigy of Nor. At your entrance, she turns in surprise and her face grows furious. What? Oh, you will not disturb this sacred ritual unscathed. She mumbles something and the door bursts open. Strong hands grab your troops. Suddenly you are surrounded. The humans you passed on your way here deform into demons in front of you. You offered your troops up to house demons. Attack them! It's one core dweller. It's just one core dweller. Not a very successful demonologist, are you? Alright, let's bonk it. Oh no, it came slightly close to us. Oh, what did we do? Right, you're resistant to its attacks, so it might actually be wise to get you in. So Yingrid actually isn't really set up that well for this army. Alright, let's move you forward. How far away are we? Norse Curse. We need to be 1, 2, 3 forward. 1, 2, 3. Norse Curse. That could have been one back actually. But, okay, we'll go with it. Let's weaken you. Move over that. And attack. Interesting. They are immune to fear. You are in guard mode, so I kind of want the walking corpses to suffer that retaliate. Minions, and then boom. Yingrid, you're going to take some damage if I do that. This is a tier 2 unit, but it is a pretty beefy one. So yeah, I'm going to be a little bit careful with it. Let's move you there. Ow. I mean, yes, he can sort of go through here, but then he would activate, I guess, both of those two. Mind you, they only have one. Oh, they don't actually have any things left, so. We've got that. Right, so now he can't do anything next turn, I don't think. He certainly can't retaliate against Yingrid. I think we're just dogpiling him at this point. Yep, he couldn't do anything because he had no action points. Let's use... First off, Nor's Boon on you. So now you deal death damage and you can kill him. Flanking. Sucker. Bye bye, demon. Rah, do you do? Oh, hang on a minute, that's what's doing it. This has, this can has something sticky on the bottom. Looks like the remains of the packaging, the glue that they use. Yeah, it's fine. Ooh, a spring gemstone. That seems fancy. Ritual ended and effigy destroyed. You know that demons will soon stop coming to the High Mark. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. Alright. We're all safe from their devilry now. Until, like I said, demons of the past. Or the one... I can't remember what order it's in, and it's really annoying me. Was it Faith in Destiny first, or was it Demons from the Past? I think it was Demons from the Past, and then Faith in Destiny. Right. Research. We now have Zombie Curse. Guild mortal units turn into walking corpses after battle when they suffered enough damage from a unit with the Zombie Curse. So that is a effectively weapon enchantment, like, or basic enchantment, like, what is it? Unnatural Regeneration is. So that will drain mana per turn. So we can't do that yet. However, Plague sounds hilarious, so let's start working on that. 11 turns, not bad. Oh no, Revive Hero. We probably want that first, actually. Can we want to use decide instantly, tying on the magical bond that connects you all? That could be interesting, but no. Revive Hero. Just in case. I don't think I need to... I think we might actually do a heal you. Where is it? There it is. Aid. They should heal next turn. Alright. Awaiting orders. Oh, it's just that. That's fine. Alright. Go see what the dwarf wants. When you reach Seven Keeps, the dwarf walks purposely towards the poorer district. We are almost there. That bastard Roderick would soon learn his lesson the hard. He stops in his tracks, realizing his mistake. Oh, so you knew these thieves. Slowly he starts walking again. Maybe I wasn't quite faithful to the truth. Roderick was the one who pushed me into the well. We were, well, business partners. The chest was our latest acquisition, and we were supposed to share, but I guess Roderick had other plans. Luckily, I stole the key before he tried to drown me. He smirks and winks at you. So you were using us to get revenge, or how come he betrayed you? Yes, you were using us to get revenge. He stops in front of a tiny hut. No, I mean, in a way. Jesus Christ. Listen, how about this? I also have some special scrolls. I don't have magical affinities, so I don't really have use for them. I was planning to sell them, but I guess now you will get them. Deal? Alright, fine. He nods and enters the hut without knocking. There is a surprised outcry and something metal hits the floor. As you enter yourself, you see the dwarf sitting on the chest of a man, repeatedly slapping him in the face. Next to him is a crowbar and a large chest. Wait for this to play out. When the dwarf is satisfied that his friend's face is suitably bruised, he releases him and walks to the chest. Well, now that's cleared up. Your reward, as promised. Say, why do we keep doing different? I don't know, god damn it! He unlocks the chest, and another secret compartment within. He hands you coins and some pieces of paper written in a magical script. Suddenly, a hidden door crashes open and people start pouring in, restricting the dwarf and Roderick. Stone skin enchantment, and gold. Ooh, an Earthmaster's. Earthmaster scroll. That's pretty cool. Alright, 7 keeps. What shenanigans are going on here? Jesus. Why am I suddenly so acidy? Well, I assume it's acid anyway. It could just actually be the leftover of my illness, but nah. Dovevale Gate. Collect. A large notice has been nailed to one of the city's wooden gates. Call to all brave citizens of the Highmark. The undead from Darkvale plague our king's domains, wreaking havoc. The crown promises great rewards to the brave souls who would dare the cursed woods of Darkvale and destroy the abominable monsters. Report to the Darkvale Gate, south of Seven Keeps, if you are willing to fight for the kingdom. Reward? That sounds interesting. We've already done that, so yeah, that's fine. Missing Alchemist. You peruse the busy market stalls and notice a curiously empty spot in the otherwise crowded square. It's the old dwarven alchemist, one of the neighbouring traders offers, as she sees you looking around the empty spot. That's not what the text says, but that's what I'm going with. Haven't seen him around for quite a bit. Perhaps worth investigating. And the Seven Keeps Library. You've heard a lot of talk about the Royal Academy's famous library here in Seven Keeps, a treasure trove of knowledge governed by the Council of Magistrates, which is comprised of humans, elves, and dwarves. It is said that it holds the greatest collection of books available in Viara. Worth a visit? And the Seat of Kings, which we can't do yet because we need to be tier 4 for this. Also, we can get keepers eventually, which are, well, you can see. They are, they basically have lightning swords and are clad head to toe in gold armour. They're basically custodies. Oh well, books of law. Your company makes its way to the bustling streets of the Highmark's capital, marvelling at the rich selection of wares offered by what must be hundreds of little stalls that line the streets to the Academy gate. Browse the books on offer in the shops, why not? Strolling past vellum makers and bookbinders, your way leads past a bookseller's stand. There are all kinds of work on sale. Maps, mundane stories, magical theorems. Such a wealth of knowledge in such a small space. But as you gaze on the titles to find something worth your attention, you are disturbed by a commotion at the Academy gate itself. What is it? As you make your way towards the gate, you spot a group of elves being accosted by the city watch and an angry man in scribe's robes. Weapons have been drawn, and the situation is about to come to boil. Help the guard, or help the elves? Do we really want to upset Seven Keeps? You spot a group of elves being accosted by the city watch and an angry man in scribe's robes. So I guess the angry man in scribe's robes is the part of the guard. I guess we help the guard. You rush to support the guards as a fire explosion and a wave of heat shakes the cobbled street. Panicked, the booksellers grab their wares and flee the scene. Through the chaos, you make out the guards strewn about like puppets on the ground. One of the elves holds up a glowing purple crystal. Try to stop them. You push your way through the mass of people, but before you can reach the elves, they vanish into a shimmering gate that quickly closes behind them. Too late. Waiting for the streets to clear, you see City Watch healers rushing to the aid of the fallen guards as reinforcements close off the street. Finally reaching the Academy gate, guards almost immediately block your passage. The gate and the Academy are closed to outsiders, by order of His Magnificence, Magistrate Reinhardt of the Royal Academy. Why? Well, why do you think? I mean, there's just been a massive commotion. One squints suspiciously at your entourage. Several magical tomes of great value have been stolen from the Academy's vaults. The gate will remain closed to visitors. No one gets in without a pass. He steps back and shrugs off any further questions. We'll have to find one then. Alright. I suppose we will go to the students' haunt, because I want to get into that library. You just sneak past and hope this doesn't go poorly. You are not... You don't have the best army in the world. You have a very melee-focused one. Might have to get some... might have to get some range units on you. Or some more range units. I suspect he's going to be attacked. Yeah. Retreat. Just go to the water. I can't follow you there. There are a ton of wolves over there. That's kind of annoying. Near one of the inns bordering the sprawling tracks of the Royal Academy's grounds, you find a heavily inebriated man in Academy student robes. He staggers towards you. Spare a coin for an intellectual endeavour. I'm examining spirits, if you catch my drift, he says, leaning heavily on you and reeking of cheap wine. I'm very fond of practical science. Here, have some coin. Is that real gold? He takes a hearty bite into the coin and winces in pain. So what now? True patrons, he cries, as he tries to embrace your soldiers. Here, take it. I'm sick of those damn books anyway. He pauses, burps loudly, and stumbles forward. Oh, maybe I'm just sick. With that, he vomits into a small alleyway. A library card. How useful. Hoping to access the library using the drunken student's card, you make your way through the vast academy with your troops, all marvelling at the old building's magnificent arches and colourful glass windows. Created by the combined efforts of dwarves, elves, and humans, the Royal Academy mirrors a time of harmony between races. The road ends at another gateway. Let's approach. There are a number of City Watch guards and some apprentice mages turning back those trying to enter the library. A guard steps out from below the marble arch and says, "Stop right there, strangers. I have orders to take you in." I'm sure there's a misunderstanding. Magistrate Meinhardt wants a word with you. The guard replies, roughly shepherding you all towards the side entry. No need to be uncivil. Shut your trap, or I'll mate you. Let's not fight. I get the feeling that the guards quickly form a wall of weapons and shields in front of you. There must be a way to resolve this. A man dressed in expensive robes hurries out of a nearby building, accompanied by a group of what look like warrior mages. At the guards, he barks, "Stop this foolishness at once!" To you, he gives a short nod and says, "I can see there was a misunderstanding. Allow me to apologize on behalf of the Royal Academy." Apology accepted. You are Magistrate Reinhardt, Warden of the Royal Academy, at your service. May we have a word? Reinhardt looks pointedly at the drawn weapons. I assure you, you have nothing to fear from me. All I want is a minute of your time. Motioning for his men to stay back, he adds, I have a proposal that could be mutually beneficial. I'm listening. I noticed your presence when our valuable tomes were so brazenly stolen. Now, while I am not much of a believer in fate, I doubt it was an accident that you have returned here now. You see, the thieves of our treasured works are still at large. We may need help finding them. Why are we asking? We want to do this. Whatever. The academy must be filled with mages qualified for that. Reinhardt grimaces and says, one would think, with all the means at our disposal, this would be a trivial task. But the City Watch has no authority beyond 7 keeps, and the Academy is currently occupied keeping the Council from tearing at each other's throats. With the King's sake, we dare not antagonize the nobles by sending search parties out into their fiefdoms. So, he sighs, I need a few able people with their wits about them to find the thieves and bring the books back without creating a diplomatic crisis. In return, I am authorized to offer you free access to our library's treasures. Why pick us? He gives a slight smile and replies, I have been watching you for a while, and I am impressed by your endeavors. I'm sure you'll find a friend in 7 Keeps quite useful in the future. A friend is useful when we solve our problems. Reinhardt nods and moves on. We have managed to scry the thieves' portal's exit point. You best start there with your hunt. For that, I can offer you free access to the works present in our library, to study at will. Or perhaps you want a more practical reward, an item maybe, or some rare ingredients. Those books must be quite valuable to you. Folding his hands into his robe sleeves, he nods. They are, but more importantly, this is a matter of principle. We cannot have just any scoundrel steal our books. The library must be protected at all costs. But I'm sure you will find the reward worth your while. I'll leave word that you shall be allowed to visit my offices, if you return with the books. When, not if. Plus 20 to 7 keeps. And there's the book thieves in the mushroom circle. Excellent. And then I guess in the meantime we will go and check in with the alchemist's nephew. Seems like we picked up that quest as well. Might as well kill two birds with one stone, so to speak. You enter a little unassuming shop and find yourself amid a treasure trove of alchemical components, herbs, potions, and small trinkets. You are greeted by an elderly dwarf in bright red garments and a receding hairline. Greetings, customers. Perusing or buying today? What a nice little store. Are you the owner? Indeed. Harv Galgant, my pleasure. But I'm not taking on commissions anymore, I'm afraid. You see, my eyes aren't what they used to be, and mixing ingredients is a fickle craft. Wouldn't want to blow up the shop, eh? How would that look for my successor? Bright young lad, my nephew, and deft with his hands. He'll continue my craft, if he ever returns, that is. The last sentence is spoken more to himself. Returns? Where's he gone? Tarv scratches his head. Well, I sent him out to the mountains to fetch some more ingredients, but he has yet to return. I sure hope the boy is safe. He can be a bit of a dreamer at times. Would you send him home if you find him? I will make sure the trip worth your while. I will make sure to make the trip worth your while. Yes, there we go. And where will we find him? First, you have to enter my cave. You can't miss it. It's in the mountains around Seven Keeps. Which mountain? There's a lot of them. Follow the lights. You can trust them. To a point. If you follow them too far, there's no telling what might happen. No, find the overgrown walls. There's a way through there. If you follow my instructions, that's where you'll find my nephew. I need more details than that. And I need to get back to my work. There's a potion about to overheat. Come back with him and we can talk more. He shuffles towards a room in the back of his shop. You hear a marvellous example of dwarven cursing as acrid smoke starts pouring from the room. Well, that was not very helpful. And there's the mountain. God. Getting tired now. Don't worry, I'm not here to... This is a dead end. Well, that's all good. Okay, back we go. Reading orders. You... Actually, is there anything available in Connacht now? I could send her back to do more of her quest, but I get the feeling that I want to go to Connacht. Or I could actually just send her around and do more Lyrane stuff, because we've still not become... Yeah, I'm going to send her to go do Lyrane stuff, because we still haven't actually become, like, best friends with Lyrane, which we should have done a long time ago. Cool. Harvesting the Black Forest grants you seeds, some black wood, some roots, and some experience. Exploring the bone pile, you find decayed brain, lovely, remains, and cursed candle. Cool. What's the soul eyes, or whatever they're called? You start heading down here. Level up available. Ooh. These guys can level up. Ooh. Ooh. +2 research a day. Yes, please. Your willpower is really low because you're kind of workers, so you know. But I guess white resistance is not going to be a miss. Hang on, that's just +25%, but it only went up to +40. Is there like a limit to the amount that you can go up? Balls. Well, my walking corpse is about to die. Head turn. Retreat. And down we go. Right. You stand before a cave, the entrance partly hidden behind large bushes. To one side, someone has erected a wooden sign. It once read, "Crystals and riches inside." The writing was crossed out, and above, in bold letters, it now reads, "Monsters and death inside." Is this the cave the alchemist sent his nephew to? Let's enter. You are swallowed up in the dark of the cave quite quickly, but a little deeper inside you see light reflecting off the wall of a bend, bobbing up and down as if something was just floating around a corner. Tav said to follow the lights. Rounding the corner, you find yourselves in a glistening cave. Large stalagmites grow from the ground, many see-through like crystal. Others are overgrown with ivy, moss, or mushrooms. Some of the walls overflow with greenery as well. The light is being created by some of the rocks, giving everything a dim, shifting blue sheen. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like the sound of that. If only I had some of those in my room. You see the same light emanating down another, short tunnel on the other side of the chamber. The alchemist mentioned a way through an overgrown wall. Examining the walls, one of your scouts comes across a large thicket, almost completely covering a passage. Some time is spent clearing the greenery away to reveal a tunnel leading down into almost utter darkness. The way seems clean, at least. Ugh, early night for me, I think, tonight. The way seems clean, at least. There are no foul odours or signs of bestial activity, but there are no lights this way either. Well, this is the way to go, apparently. You expect to be ambushed by some creature of the deep and the dark, but nothing. Further into the cave network you go, the quieter it seems to get. Let's just press on. Eventually, you happen upon yet another beautiful cave of glowing and sparkling rocks. Here, you think you hear a faint cry for help coming from below. One of the tunnels leads gently downwards until it comes to a room with a large cage in the middle of it. Inside, a young dwarf with glasses and red clothes is pressed against the bars, reaching for a mechanism on the wall just beyond his touch. "I'd lost hope," he yelps as he sees you, "until I heard you coming from upstairs. Quick, press that button." Why is everyone like a chav today? Yeah. Go in and press the button. As you enter the chamber, there is a faint click as one of your soldiers takes a step. Okay. From the tunnel below the cage, lava begins to roll down onto the floor and towards the cage. In the moments, it will flood the room. The dwarf looks at it and screams, "No, no, 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 help me!" I can deviate to the lava's path. You cast a small cantrip to try to force the lava away from its path. At least spare the dwarf a gruesome death, even if he must continue to be trapped in a cage. But the magical burst of energy that stretches out from your hand has no effect. What? You expect to hear screams, not just from the dwarf, but your own people too. But after a second, nothing. And after another second, still nothing. Carefully, you look around. You see lava everywhere, now flooding out of the cage and back into the chamber. You see smoke rising from it, but there's no heat, no searing pain. Inside the cage, the dwarf looks confused, carefully putting a hand into the sea of lava and waving it around. Huh, he says in surprise. It must be some illusionary magic. There's no quotation marks there. I'm guessing he said that. What a pointless trap. The mechanism on the wall slips into place very easily, and some hidden gears pull the cage back up towards the ceiling. The dwarf cries with relief. Many thanks, Grand Mage. This has been far too much adventure for me. I must return to my uncle post-haste. Don't hesitate to visit us don't hesitate to visit us again. Thank you. Maybe tell your uncle to rethink his defences. And I suppose we can go up to the book thieves on the way home. Who else is waiting orders? That'll be you. Don't go through Rihanna's territory, that will upset her. You go this way. The last resort. There's only 4 in there, so I could probably actually take that down. Let's go. You'll win without losses. What's the time? 47. It's the, I'm not actually sure if the weak thing applies when you auto-resolve, so I'm going to do it manually. Ah, dear. Right. You're the direwolf, right? Yep, you're the direwolf. Nope, not all spoon, Norse curse. Once again, we can't actually... Can't get everyone in that. I mean, you two aren't death damage, are you? No, so just fling your bolts at him. There. You are guarding, so we want to be a little bit careful of that. You're resistant, aren't you, to physical? Yeah. Alright.
Uh-huh.
You don't do a lot of damage to these folks. You just come over here for now. You will get absolutely massacred if you do that. So will you. You won't. So you go. Did you not retaliate? Okay, let's... Okay, move forward to there. Just so that they can't get to the minions. But don't actually attack Just stand guard. Dialogue is dead. You go hit him for some experience. You do that. You do that. How is that not dead yet? Thank you. How can you not? How can you not attack them? Oh, you only have one action point remaining. Okay. There's not really much point in moving you. Yeah, they were gonna just kill themselves on the Wraith anyway. Better for the Wraith to take the damage. Everyone leveled up except for the Necromancer minion. Excellent. Because the Necromancer minion cannot actually level up. Tempered Fire. Unit is immune to burning. Well, that just sounds hilarious. So let's get that. Well, I say hilarious. Less hilarious, more, you know. I mean, I can just apply a regen spell to it. But a little extra, not necessarily going to go amiss. I feel like the extra armor would actually be quite useful. Yeah. I probably should have taken that approach with these guys as well, because they've got the +3 daily magical regeneration. But, okay, you want melee damage. You want 6 against units with armored, or +3 magical regeneration. Well, I'm not going to waste a... I am not going to waste a mana point on you, so let's just get you Melding Flesh, so you at least have some regen. Gains bonus when attacking enemies afflicted with fear. Well, we do have a fear inflicting, or 2 fear inflicting things in this army, so that can go with that. I still cannot hire anything good. Let's get all fire flow. Let's get 1 extra mana. And use, where are you? Unnatural regeneration. Yep. On E. Oh, that's 2. Okay. We'll have to. Oh no, there's only 1. Weird. Must be a rounding thing. And 10. Ooh, an event. Tower. In the many hours you spent cleaning up your master's study, you find mention of an expedition he undertook to the Tuscari Sea. The report reads, Day 92. I have yet to grasp the Medusae and their magical affinity. While they are quite willing to share their knowledge, I do not yet understand their minds' turnings and would love to study more under their guidance. Unfortunately, we must make haste back to the tower. Word of the Circle's approach came today. It did not sound good. We will leave everything behind in favor of speed. I do hope I get to collect the data one day. And then he did not. For he was punched by the Circle repeatedly. Alright. I think that is as good a place as any to stop. So, I do believe this has been a fairly successful episode. We've had no technical issues. We saved a dwarf from a illusion trap, and we possibly made a friend in the sort of academy up here in Seven Keeps. So, overall, I'd say it was a good day. Oh yeah, and we stopped a demon. So, yes. Fiara's most friendly necromancer. Very weirdly, but hey-ho. So, thank you very much for watching, everybody. I hope you have enjoyed it. Until next time, I have been Caldaris. Goodbye.